Hi, hey, hello, how are you, and welcome to my channel. I feel so dumb because I literally started recording this video and I just hadn't pressed record. Like, that's so embarrassing. That's really cool. Whatever, here I am. I did not put out a monthly wrap-up video for February, and now it's April. Obviously, I wanted to put one out for March too, so I just thought, hey, why not combine them? So this video is going to be me going through every single book that I read in February and March combined. In February, I read 4 books. In March, I read 5. Neither of those numbers are like super impressive, so I thought I'd just talk about them all in one go. Anyway, here we go. The first book that I read in February was Normal People by Sally Rooney. This book is a 4-star book for me personally. I decided to read this after reading Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. That is her newest release, but that is the first book of hers that I read, and I really liked it, gave that one 4 stars, so I decided why not go back and read arguably her most popular book. Also, there's a show and I really want to watch it, so I wanted to read the book first. I really liked it. I would say that from what I've read of her so far, she doesn't write in the like regular linear format that you might be used to. It's more kind of like slice of life of these certain characters that she selected. I do feel like the way that she writes characters, it's kind of insane how realistic they feel. I feel like they really feel like real people to me. You get inside their heads and you realize that they're just like weird and strange and bad and good, just like all of us are, and I really liked that. This story follows Marianne and Connell through their like high school into college years, and you just kind of follow their friendship slash relationship, and I felt like it was really interesting. I do feel like there are moments that are absolutely heart-wrenching and like kind of hard to read, and the ending was a bit shocking to me. I can't really say anything about it, but I did listen to a lot of this as an audiobook, and so I feel like that is part of the reason why it was so shocking to me, because I didn't realize how close I was to finishing the book, and then it just like ended and I was like, what the heck? So yeah, but I would recommend this book, and I am on a mission to read everything that she's written just because I think her writing style is really interesting and really different than a lot of the other authors that I typically read. So I am excited to get into more of her stuff. After Normal People, I read Onyx Storm, which is the 3rd book in the Empyrean series, and I gotta say, I didn't like it. I'm so sorry. I know that a lot of people loved it. They love that series so much, but it is my job to be honest with you. So I'm gonna tell you how I felt about it. This is my opinion. If you like this series, that's totally fine. Nothing against you. But I think over time, I've just realized that this series isn't for me, and I don't know that Rebecca Yaros's writing is for me personally. I read Fourth Wing years ago when it came out. I was obsessed with it, really loved it, 5 stars. And then when I read Iron Flame, when that came out, I was a bit disenchanted. I was kind of like, I feel like this is a little bit melodramatic. I feel like the writing is not that great, and the dialogue and inner monologues especially are not super realistic for people this age. And there were also like elements within the 2 main characters' relationship that I was like, dude, what the heck? You know, like I honestly felt like Violet and Xaden spent most of Iron Flame fighting, and I was just irritated by that. Like, obviously it's realistic for a couple that's been together for a little bit to like have spats, but it was so stupid in my opinion. Like, I just felt like Violet kept being like, you lied to me, and Xaden would be like, well, you didn't ask, so I just withheld the truth from you. And that just really pissed me off. I felt like they continued to piss me off in different ways in Onyx Storm. I felt like it was really long, just like Iron Flame. I just don't think I vibe. I don't think I vibe with this series, and honestly, I might not read the next installment. I don't know. There is a part of me that's like, okay, but what's gonna happen? Because I feel like all 3 of the books end off on cliffhangers, which I also feel, in my opinion, is a little bit of a taboo to do that with every single book that you write. I feel like maybe the author feels like that is a good writing strategy. I feel like it gets tired when you keep doing that with every single book. So I don't know guys. I gave it 2 stars. I didn't really like it. If you really liked it and you disagree with what I'm saying, defend it in the comments. I want to talk about it. Let's talk about it, please. After that, I read the last installment in the Knock 'Em Out trilogy by Lucy Score. I read Things We Left Behind. This is an interconnected standalone romance series. This is the last book. It's about Lucian and Sloane, and I feel like when this book came out, some of my favorite booktubers were not really into it. To be honest, I think this is my favorite out of the 3 of them. I felt like there were too many similarities between the first and second book, and those books are about brothers. And then this third book, Lucian is like their best friend. So I felt like there were more differences, and I really liked that. Not to say that it's a perfect book at all. I gave it 4 stars. I think I gave every book in this series 4 stars. I really like the series, but I gotta say, none of them are 5-star books for me. They are quite cheesy. The dialogue is kind of lame and unrealistic, but I love the town. I love the people. I love the characters as a whole. And to be honest, I feel like I would try another Lucy Score book for sure, but I don't think it's like 5 stars. I would recommend the series though, and I am glad that I finished it off with this one. I did really like it. After that, I read Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake. This is a very cute Christmas queer romance, and I highly recommend it. I gave it 5 stars. Just like I've given to all of Ashley Herring Blake's other books. I really loved it. It's a second chance romance. You've got your 2 main characters, Charlotte and Brighton. They used to be in a relationship. This is 5 years after they've broken up, and they coincidentally end up staying at the same place during the holidays, and madness ensues. It's very cute. I absolutely loved it so much. You need to read it. It's very cute. Also spicy. Love that. That's great. I did definitely want to read this in December. I feel like of course you want to read a Christmas book when it's Christmas time. But I was like, you know what? Instead of waiting until next December, let's just do it when at least it's still winter. It's still cold out. The weather is giving those vibes. So I would recommend to read it in December. I wish I could have, but at the same time, I was so excited about it. I didn't want to wait that long. So I just bit the bullet and read it in February. But if I was going to read this again, which I probably will, I would definitely read it in December. I think the vibes would be absolutely immaculate. Can you imagine reading a cute little queer romance by the Christmas tree with a little cup of hot chocolate? That's so cute. Love that. I will be doing that. Maybe not this Christmas because I don't know that I want to read this 2 times in 1 year, but maybe next Christmas. That might be the vibe. Okay, those were all the books that I read for February. So then in March, the first book that I read was The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer. I gave this book 4 stars. To be honest, I did not love it when it started off. I didn't really love it even like halfway through it. I was really thinking that I was gonna give it 3 stars. I thought that it was like fine, just not for me, but it was really heartwarming. It's kind of hard to describe the plot, to be honest. This is a literary fiction book. Like I said, most of it wasn't my favorite, but then the end bumped it up to a 4 for me. So I would still recommend this, but I won't be like rereading it or anything, and I don't really have any desire to check out any of Meg Schaefer's other books. And yeah, 4 stars isn't bad. Also, can you tell that I'm like working overtime to try to finish my physical TBR? I'm really proud of myself, I'm not gonna lie. I'm doing it, okay? I'm definitely doing it. Then after that, I read Deepened by Ali Hazelwood. This is her newest release, and it was not my favorite. I have stated before that her first couple STEM romances have my heart. I absolutely love those books. And then in the most recent years, she's been putting out some stuff that has not been my favorite, but I'm always willing to give it a try. I gave this one 3 stars, which does sadden me, but there is another book of hers that I gave 3 stars that I liked less than this one. So I still think it's like pretty good. There were just some elements that were not for me. I would say this is probably her spiciest book that she's put out so far, and there were elements to the spice that are not my thing personally. So reading about it was not really like doing anything for me. If anything, sometimes I was like, I was cringing a little bit, but like no hate if that's what you're into. It just wasn't for me. So I would look up the trigger warnings if I were you, because obviously that's really important to know what you're getting yourself into. I did not. This book is about Lucas and Scarlett. They are both college athletes. Lucas is a swimmer and Scarlett is a diver. They both go to Stanford, and it's kind of a STEM romance, I guess, because they're also both in the sciences. And also you get a little bit of a cameo from some of the characters in her older STEM romances. So that was exciting, but at the same time, she's done that before, and I kind of feel like, when is it enough? When is it too much? I don't know. I was a little bit caught because I was like, nice to see them again, but then also like, okay, you can stop. I don't know. This book, it was pulling so much emotion out of me while I was reading it, and not all of those emotions were good. I was just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. I don't know if I would recommend it. You should probably read up on it if you're thinking about reading it. Then after that, I read the Buy Nothing, Get Everything Plan by Liesl Clark and Rebecca Rockefeller. This is the first nonfiction book that I've read of the year. I was so happy that this book came along. This is a book that I've actually owned for like maybe 2 or 3 years, and I just hadn't gotten to it because for a long time I was just not feeling nonfiction, but I'm so glad that I finally read it because I low-key feel like it changed my life. If you have heard of Buy Nothing groups on Facebook, these are the people that originated that idea. So most cities across the US, but also across the world, have a Facebook Buy Nothing group. There's also an app called the Buy Nothing app. You put in where you live and then specifically what neighborhood you live in, and it will connect you to that local community. And basically people put stuff up on there that they don't want anymore, but you're not selling it. You're gifting it to people. Everything is free, and you can also ask for things. That idea just completely changed me. I got on the app. I have been giving stuff away. I've been getting stuff for free from people. Actually, just the other day, I literally got a copy of The Midnight Library by Matt Haig for free. I read this book like 2 years ago, absolutely loved it, and I've been wanting to own a copy. I saw the other day that somebody was like, hey, I have a pretty good condition hardback copy of The Midnight Library. Does anybody want it? Come pick it up if you want it. And the person that put it up there lived not too far from where I work, and I literally went and picked it up that day. Absolutely free. That's amazing. That's insane. This concept, literally, it's so innovative but so simple at the same time. A lot of this book is comprised of like tips and tricks for how to save money on things. A lot of it is very sustainability and like eco-focused. I highly recommend this. I am definitely like a crunchy granola girl at heart, and I go through seasons where I'm like so into it, and I feel like this reignited one of those seasons for me. So I highly recommend this book. 5 stars. Then after that, I finally finished Winterkill by Ragnar Jonasson. I started this book in, I think, June of last year, which is really embarrassing, and I want to say that that has no bearing on the quality of this book. That's on me. I didn't have an audiobook version of it available to me. I didn't have a physical copy of it. I only had it on my Kindle. And because I moved last year, I also went for... Is she? I'm so sorry if the camera's shaking for a little bit. It's because my cat is vigorously snuggling my tripod. There's nothing I can do about that. I'm so sorry. Just know that he loves you guys. Anyway, I went through a period of time last year where I literally couldn't find my Kindle, so that added to it. Also, sometimes I'm just not feeling the Kindle vibes. Like, sometimes I'm just going through an audiobook season where I only want to listen to audiobooks. Sometimes I'm really into reading physical books, and sometimes I just want to read things on my Kindle. I haven't really felt that way in a while, so I kind of just ended up putting this book on the back burner, unfortunately. And then recently I took a trip to my hometown and I was on a train for a very long time. So I brought my Kindle with me and I finished this book. And it was really good. It was a little bit bittersweet because it's the last book in the series. I did give it 4 stars. I feel that the plot of this mystery is definitely lower stakes than most of the other books in the series, but I still really liked it. I like that I got to see Ari Thor in Cyclofjordur one last time. I love this series and I definitely plan on reading more series from this author, so I recommend it for sure. Please read the Dark Iceland series, and don't worry, it will not take you as long as it took me to read the last book. Then last but not least, the last book that I read in March was The Path Between Us by Susan Stabile. This is a book about the Enneagram. If you have not heard of that, I suggest Googling it, doing some research. Basically, it's a personality test similar to like Myers-Briggs, but there's only 9 types, so in some ways it does feel a bit more digestible. This is the second nonfiction book that I read this year. Amazing. Pat myself on the back. I think I only read 1 nonfiction book last year, and I definitely wanted to kick it up a notch this year, so I'm already doing that. Good for me. This book has been in my physical TBR for a long time. I got it as a gift, and I just never got around to it. This is also basically a sequel to The Road Back to You. I'm gonna be totally honest though, I gave this book 3 stars. To be honest, I feel like if you want to get information about the Enneagram, read The Road Back to You. This one is more focused on relationships and how each of the numbers deal with things in relationships and how you can better understand whatever number somebody that you're in a relationship with is. But I also felt like it was kind of a cash grab. I felt like it wasn't necessary whatsoever. There wasn't really anything that I learned in this book that I felt like was revelational, so I wouldn't really recommend it. I would just recommend The Road Back to You. I think you could just read that one and be fine, but if you're super interested after you read that one, you could read this one too. It's up to you, but I don't think it's like revelational by any means. So that is every book that I read in February and March of 2025. Thank you so much for watching this video. I sincerely hope that you enjoyed it. You can give this video a like if you liked it, and you can give me a subscribe if you like me and want to subscribe to my channel. You can hit that little bell icon if you want and get notified every single time that I post a video. All of my social media accounts are linked in the description below. You can go follow me on any of those if you would like. Comment down below what was your favorite thing that you've read so far in 2025. I would love to know and maybe read it myself. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye!